Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Valeria, and this is the Awful Range. Today is Halloween, but who says that I have to be a dark creature? I chose to be a woodland fairy. And even though it is not a vampire or a werewolf, a fairy is also a creature of another worlds, which means that dark forces will not pay attention to me today. Moreover, who says that a fairy is a good creature? Appearances are deceiving. But let's talk about the subject of today's video. Today it is particularly useful and social. Today I'm planting trees in honor of my Patreon subscribers. Almost a year and a half ago, I promised to plant trees in honor of those who support Mother Nature and the development of my project. I launched this campaign on Patreon, and for a year subscription for $10 a month, I will plant a tree in honor of the subscriber. So today, I'm going to show you the planting of small oak trees and check whether they have taken roots. And also I will tell you that this promotion doesn't bring me a penny and is not a source of income for me. But first things first. As the real creature of another world, I will rewind time backwards and carve this pumpkin. In the process of carving the pumpkin, I want to tell you the history of the holiday. Halloween is one of the oldest holidays, celebrated by millions of people around the world. Its history intertwines Celtic, Roman, and Christian traditions. According to a number of historians, Halloween, or All Saints' Day, begins with the ancient Celtic holiday of Samhain, which was celebrated about 2,000 years ago on the territory of modern Ireland, Great Britain, and northern France. This holiday marked the end of the harvest season and the onset of winter, which the Celts associated with cold, darkness, and death. The Celts believed that on the night of the 1st of November, the world of the living and the world of the dead intersect, and the spirits of the dead could return to earth. To protect themselves from evil creatures, people lit bonfires and wore animal costumes. This was their way of scaring away unwanted guests. When the Roman Empire conquered the Celtic lands, Celtic traditions were mixed with Roman festivals. One such festival was Feralia, which the Romans celebrated at the end of October to commemorate the dead. Another Roman holiday, a day in honor of the goddess Pomona, patroness of fruited trees, also influenced the development of Halloween traditions. Pomona's symbol was the apple, which may have been the basis for the apple games, such as catching apples in water, that have become part of modern Halloween traditions. The holiday has changed over time, especially under the influence of Christianity and the traditions of different nations. Okay. I can work with a chainsaw and I can work with a handsaw, but I cannot work with a knife and a pumpkin. Oh, this is the first eye. Okay, I see. The second eye. Okay. She is very nice. She doesn't look scary. With the spread of Christianity, the church sought to replace pagan rituals with Christian holidays. In the 8th century, Pope Gregory III moved the celebration of All Saints' Day to the 1st of November, and the night before became known as All Hallows' Eve. The Halloween traditions we know today began to take shape in the United States in the 19th century. Irish and Scottish immigrants brought with them their customs, costumes, and tales of otherworldly forces. One of the key traditions that came from Ireland was the carving of lambs from turnips called jack-o'-lanterns. According to legend, this custom is connected with the story of a cunning blacksmith named Jack, who managed to deceive the devil, and after his death was unable to enter either heaven or hell. He had to wander the earth with a lantern made from a turnip in which he had placed coal. In America, the turnip was replaced by a pumpkin, as it was more readily available and easy to carve. This is my first pumpkin in many, many years. I think that last time I celebrated Halloween more than 10 years ago, when I was in high school. After that, I was working hard, and last year, as you know, at this time, I was building my house. This one. So now I finally have the possibility of celebrating Halloween. Please let me know what I'm doing wrong, how it might be easier to cut it. Do you celebrate Halloween, by the way? Do you cut pumpkins? And what costumes do you wear as usual? What costumes are you going to wear today? Halloween quickly became a popular holiday in the United States, and over time, its custom spread around the world. One of the most famous elements of modern Halloween has been trick-or-treating, where children dress up in costumes and go from house to house collecting candy. This tradition has its roots in medieval customs of poor people going door to door asking for food in return for prayers for the dead. What do you do with pumpkins after Halloween? Do you eat it? Do you cook it? What do you cook, by the way? I think that pumpkin with rice and curry and perhaps chicken would be just great. What other options do you have? Please suggest me and I will cook it as well. So I think it is ready, and let's light a candle. And let's turn off the lights. It is amazing. How do you like it? She's so cute. I think it is very nice. Well, friends, The pumpkin is with me, but it is time to hit the road, which means to go back in time again and plant the trees. And after that, I will come here again. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Valeria and this is the Off-Road Ranch. There is nothing better than to wake up early in the morning and go to forest to plant trees for my subscribers as I promised many times in my videos. Nature is so peaceful, so calm that I'm even afraid to talk aloud. I eternally love nature and forest, and let me first plant all these trees and after that I will tell you a little bit. I am planting thick trees. Who do I plant them for? My one and only subscriber on Patreon. The subscriber who loaned me the money that made it possible for me to save my land, build a box of a small house and get a place to live in. And I'm still paying him back. My friend who helped me financially after my third-degree burns last September. My other friend who also helped me financially after my third-degree burns. My friend who sometimes comes to my ranch. She helps me with filming and small work. And my other friend. She also occasionally comes over to help me with filming for videos. In case the trees don't take root, I will plant new ones. I have also written to all the people that I have planted trees in their honor. I would like to point out that I do not receive a penny from this campaign, and I consider it charity, because your funds do not recoup the cost of seedlings, logistics, tools, water, soil and fertilizer. All of it cost over $100. I don't make money from planting trees. I even spend a bit on it, both financially and by giving up my time. But I still consider it a good deed. And you have done good twice, and you received good in return. I will plant these trees without your contribution, but the fact that the tree gets the name you gave it makes you realize that you have taken part in the greening of this planet, which means you have done a good deed. It is a contribution to solving an ecological problem. I do not provide my services to you for a fixed fee, which means that your donation is a contribution to a common good deed. You see the results of what you donated to. I don't plant a tree to sell it later. Nature wins in this exchange. Not any of us profit. Besides, this way you support me and my project. And one more important point. You yourself, looking at the fact that I plant a tree, will probably plant trees yourself, or clear the land of rubbish, or do other important things. In the video, you see just planting a tree. But in fact, in addition to that, you also need to get all the necessary permits and pay a fee for planting a specific kind of tree in a specific place. To get up early, drive to the nursery or preserve and buy a sapling by ordering it in advance. Then bring it in a car or trailer to the specified area. Then prepare conditions for planting, properly plant and fence it. And then for at least a few years to care for it, to make sure it takes root and grows, and to prevent it from dying. So I will look after these trees for a few more years, as I will all the other trees I plant in the future. If you choose to plant a tree yourself instead of subscribing to my Patreon, I will be only happier, because the purpose of this subscription is to get you thinking about the environment in charity in general. And there are different ways to do this. In general, all my activities are the most direct charity. And your donations are also charity, and the benefit from them is much higher than giving them away. If you want, you can transfer funds via cryptocurrency, optionally using Monero, and specify in the comments how you want me to name the tree. I talked about what true philanthropy is in the video number 20, and despite its length, I highly recommend you watch it. It will open your eyes to the important areas of ecology, wealth, politics, business, and the attitude to ordinary people. Well, the tree planting has been a success. It is already 3 weeks past, and now we need to go there and check whether they have taken root. Do not worry, during these times I have already been there and checked their condition. During my last visit, all the oaks were alive. Let's go. So this is the first oak, and it is alive. Don't look at its brown leaves. Do not forget it is autumn already. And this is the second one. It is also alive, and please pay attention that his one leaf is still green, because it is safe amongst high grass. So this is the third oak. It is completely alive and it feels very good, don't you think so? It is very small and it is perfect. Whoa, this is the first one. Just have a look at this beauty. Lots of leaves, completely green. And I think that all of them are ready for winter. Here is my number 5. It looks a little bit sad, but I think that the reason why this leaf is completely brown is that this oak is situated a little bit higher than other oaks, and there is no such high grass that could protect it from wind or from possible frosts. Perhaps it was already below 0 degrees Celsius, and the reason why the leaf is brown is that it was already too cold. And in case if here already was 0 degrees below Celsius, the leaf is brown just because it was already frozen. But it doesn't mean at all that this oak will die. Anyway, I will take care of it and I will see later. So I also think that this oak will survive. And here is the last one. It doesn't have leaves at all already, but it doesn't look that he's going to die. I think that it will also survive. I'd like to return home as soon as I can because it is extremely difficult to walk in this dress. It is thin, it is very beautiful, and it is not mine, so I don't want to damage it. Let's come back instantly. Well, I am immensely happy that all the trees have taken roots. But it is too little time to talk about sustainable rooting. Like I said before, I will take care of them several more years, as well as of the trees that I will plant in the future, regardless where there will be any participants in my campaign. I didn't show you, but earlier I already had planted several oaks and maples, but unfortunately only 2 of them have survived. If you'd like me to show more videos about planting trees in honor of my subscribers and show you interim results, please write in the comments. I would be grateful if you share my channel with your friends. Besides working on my property, I also make videos on social acute topics. And this winter, I'm planning to make a series of videos about cryptocurrency. And it will be without scamming or selling courses or shows off. I will try to tell you how it really works. And if you watch my other videos where I walk on the off-road range, or if you look at my real lifestyle, you will understand that I'm not trying to make dishonest money on other people. On the contrary, I'm trying to make honest name and reputation. I hope that you like this video, and I hope to see you in the next videos. Do not forget to subscribe and like. It was Valeria. Oh, it was a woodland fairy from the off-road range. I wish you all the best and see you soon. Happy Halloween, my friends!